So, UFC 300 was just announced by Dana White at UFC 296 in the post-fight press conference he gave. A few days later, Dana White confirmed 3 fights that would be on that UFC 300 card. Those fights were conveniently covered in a post by ESPN MMA, and they're as follows: Prochazka vs. Rakic, Sterling vs. Kattar, and Nickel vs. Brundage. Now, each and every single one of those fights is going to be an absolute banger. However, the main question at this current moment in time is who is going to be the main event? Now, we already know what 3 of those fights are going to be, so what are the other 2 is the main question. Because there are usually 5 fights on a UFC pay-per-view, so that leaves 2 more spots open. Hey guys, FreakEasy from the future here, and really quickly, I'm editing the video and I'm realizing that the 3 fights we just looked at could possibly be just for the preliminary card and not the actual main card itself. However, my predictions for the main card still do remain the same. I just want to add that in there really quick. And I have not 2, but 3 predictions for you guys here today. So, what I'm thinking is going to be the main event of UFC 300 is going to be Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. This is a fight that has been talked about for a very long time, and I definitely think it's going to happen, for a few reasons. Michael Chandler doesn't have any opponents lined up that we know of as of yet, and it seems like he is waiting for Conor McGregor. If you watch The Ultimate Fighter McGregor versus Chandler, you could tell that these two really didn't like each other that much and definitely want to fight each other. McGregor also recently entered the USADA testing pool back in October, and you have to be in that testing pool for 6 months before you can actually fight. And keep in mind, I know USADA and the UFC have parted ways. However, that doesn't mean the UFC isn't still drug testing their fighters, because they do. It's just a different organization that handles it now. But I believe the same measures and rules that USADA had in place are still being followed, even though they are no longer involved. The quality of the testing of the fighters is still very high, it's just no longer overseen by USADA. And if you do some simple math, 6 months from October is around March and April. So it would make sense that we would see Conor McGregor on that April card. McGregor also did an interview not too long ago where he kind of confirmed his next 3 opponents. He said he would be fighting Chandler in December, but obviously that never happened. But those 3 opponents were, well, here.
When are you coming back?
December.
And who are you fighting?
Chandler.
You are going to do it?
I have to.
You've been teasing him?
I'm going to just do that with him, yeah. I'm going to grab him by the chest and crap him. That's what I'm going to do.
It's always great to see you. Cheers.
Oh, Chandler next, December, and then Gaethje BMF, and then we'll do Nate trilogy.
Brilliant. Cheers. Thank you. Cheers.
And during the Ngannou versus Fury fight, Conor McGregor was interviewed and confirmed that he would be returning to the UFC in April.
Talking of legs, how's your leg doing, and when we're going to see you back, Conor? I know everyone asked the question.
Very good. I'm in a great place. My body's fully healed, and yeah, of course, lad, no problem. And hopefully April. They're saying April, so I'm happy. I would have loved in December. I would have loved in early. I would have dialed in earlier. But I want to be honest, you know, not just to myself, but my fans and whatnot. April's a lovely run-up for me. You know?
With both of those things combined, I definitely think the Chandler fight is happening in April at UFC 300. Moving on to the next prediction, and probably the most exciting fight the UFC could add to that UFC 300 card, is either going to be Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic and or Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is the current interim champion for the UFC's heavyweight division. Jon Jones is the current champion of the UFC heavyweight division. So I think we will probably see a unification bout between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall at UFC 300. And if it's not Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall, I think it's going to be Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic. Now, keep in mind, I know Jon Jones is coming off an injury, but if you've been paying attention to his Instagram post, he looks like he's in better health. He's also even doing a seminar in December where people are going to train with him. So if he's healthy enough to train, I think in a couple of months he'll probably be healthy enough to fight. And most likely, I think John Jones versus Stipe Miocic or John Jones versus Tom Aspinall is going to be on that UFC 300 card as well. John Jones and Conor McGregor both on the same UFC card would absolutely be a dream come true for a lot of fight fans. And it would be something that would be really awesome to see. UFC 300 is definitely a special occasion, and I feel like the UFC is going to go very big for it. So I think we are going to see the two biggest stars to ever be a part of the UFC fight on the same card. Moving on to my last prediction, I think it would probably be Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira. This was a fight that got canceled not too long ago, but a fight many fans were excited to see. The fight never got rebooked or never got rescheduled. I don't believe Islam Makhachev has anything scheduled for the next couple of months. So I think it's a very good possibility we might even see that card at UFC 300. But keep in mind, these are just my predictions. I'm hoping for Jones and McGregor. But keep in mind, these are just my predictions. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comment section down below. As per usual, if you have any ideas for future videos, ideas on how I can improve my current videos, any questions, comments, concerns, leave it in the comment section down below. If you did enjoy the video, please be sure to drop a like, a comment, and subscribe, as it really does help the channel grow. Anyways, I love all of you, and I'll see you next time.